I'm here for all of this beautiful weather today. And while New Day will always be the place for entertainment and fun, we also want it to be a community of learning. So we're starting off today with a more serious topic, personal safety. Self-defense training, especially for women, can help increase not only our safety, but also our confidence and a sense of empowerment. For the last 2 years, the Bellevue Police Department has offered self-defense workshops for women, and Officer Craig Hanaumi is here to share a bit of what you can expect in the class. Thank you so much, Craig, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So before we get started with some moves you're going to show me, tell me why the police department wanted to offer these classes.
That's a good question. There's primarily 3 reasons. The first reason was because we wanted to take an opportunity to provide proactive support for our community, because 911 is typically in response to something, and this is a way that we can build relationships without having to wait for something to happen. The second reason is because we have a lot of women in our department, and we get to showcase them to our community as well at the same time. And it's a great way to build the relationship without having to wait for something to happen.
Yeah, and tell me about the classes specifically. What can people expect there?
We have the classes, we try to have them every week. It's free to remove the barrier of cost for our community and anybody else. We've had people that come from as far as Olympia, Tacoma area to come up to learn. And it's a very fun, safe environment we try to create that is for everybody. Everybody's welcome.
All ages, dozens of people in the classes?
We made it 12 and over just for the size, right? If you have a little person, it's hard to practice the technique if you're much taller. But we have a lot of mother, daughters, a lot of sisters, all kind of partnerships, good friends come through, and it's just a blast. We have a blast teaching it.
Oh, well, okay. And now it's time. You're going to show me a few techniques that are super important. So I'm going to put this down, and you're going to show me our first one. Yeah,
the first concept is base and balance, right? If you don't have base and balance, you may not stay standing up, which is the goal, right? To get away and disengage is the goal, survive. And to practice base and balance, right? When we're talking to each other, normal people face each other. But this idea of standing sideways to me is a little bit more advantageous, because if I pull you when you're facing me, it's a little bit harder to stay standing up. But if you have that back foot facing that way, right, and I push here, it's much harder to move you. If I'm pushing, you can straighten your left leg a little bit.
Right.
And then if I pull you, you can lean the other way. Right, so base and balance. Once we get this established, right, one idea is like, if I'm a perpetrator is trying to move, to a person to isolate and subdue them in another location, you don't want to go.
No.
Right? So you're establishing your base and balance, right? Maybe using your voice to draw attention. But the next question would probably be, how do you remove this grip from your arm?
That's what I'm trying to do right now.
And many people would say it's something like we talked about, like, okay, you just hit me.
I know. That's what I'm thinking, like a strike.
Yeah, that's a great idea, right? It could hit me, distract me, or at least make me deal with that enough so you let go and you're gone. The problem is when we get into this base and balance, and you're trying to reach me over here, it's harder to keep your balance and reach me at the same time, right? You have to compromise one. So instead of that, right, this idea of getting into your good base and then leading with your elbow and coming counterintuitively towards me, bring it this way, and then you disengage.
And like you said, that is so counterintuitive, because I wouldn't think that I needed to lean in to get away.
Give a little to gain a lot.
Okay.
That's the first one right there.
And then next up.
Yeah, so you disengage, right? Leaving the area is the optimal one, right? Because if you're not in the space of the situation, you don't have to worry about protecting yourself. The problem with disengaging sometimes is if you're leaving, you will be facing away from the potential threat, which is great if you can get away, but if they come from behind you and grab you in a variety of ways, that's not good, right? And one of the most common ways is if somebody comes from behind and they reach around the neck over here, right? To either strangle or pull the person backwards, right? And like how you did right there, very good instinct, is to connect to my hand so that if I'm pulling with this, it's not going on your neck. Well, you're able to kind of mitigate that for a little bit. Now, from this position, get into a good balance and base by widening your stance right there. Perfect. So you cannot, not going to be like as likely to fall. Then from this mechanic, you take a small step back with your right foot, and you pivot off of it to turn all the way around, connect your calf to me. And now when you lean forward, then I fall down, right? And then you can disengage and get up.
And then I'm away.
Yes.
Interesting. This is all, and you should be screaming too, I imagine, and
you can draw attention, the bystander intervention variable, right, is higher when we draw attention, which makes the attack less likely to occur in the first place. So I think the biggest component of the classes that is utilized by women in our community is not even a physical tactic. It's the idea of setting boundaries.
Yes.
And potentially having to enforce, if those boundaries are crossed. And I think we talk about it too. So we layer in the non-physical with the physical, because realistically, you're not going to just use one probably.
Definitely. Okay, we want to bring out Officer Gabby too for your next demo. So here comes Gabby.
Yeah. Officer Gabby, one of our certified instructors, Women Empowered from Grace University. And we have several other women who help us teach in our department and in our community as volunteers.
Amazing.
And one of the worst case scenarios, like Kelly, standing on your feet, you get away, that's the best case. Worst case is the person is grounded. So like if for whatever reason, in a law enforcement context or not, right? If Officer Gabby fell down and was on her back, it's not as good, right? Because if she's on her back, head facing this way, right here, perfect. Right, turn this way. She has to stand up to get away if she wanted to get to her feet. And not the best starting position for a confrontation.
No, this is terrifying.
Worst case for her is if I ended up in a position on top of her. And a variety of ones, right? One of the worst ones is when I'm like this, sitting on top of her in the mount. Because if she makes a fist to reach me, she cannot reach me and I can reach her, even though she's taller than me. And if we trade punches from here, it's not as an option wrong to do. It's obviously reasonable. If I'm hitting her, she can hit me back. But it's not a fair exchange of punches, right?
Right, so what do we do?
If she pushes me off, that would be a great idea too, right? The problem is, she's strong enough to move me, but if she pushes me to one side, I can like base and balance the other side.
And you're
same
still
thing, right?
on top.
I'm still on top of her, so she's using a lot of energy. I'm not using that much energy. So as opposed to that, we have this tactic of if a person is stuck in this position and the person is going to end up sitting on top of them, they do something else like this.
Oh my Lord.
Boom, and then she's out, right? So I don't know if you want to try that or not, but the worst case scenario is a person ends up, is it okay? Or
yeah, I'm like, I don't even know.
So you don't even know what happened.
So
so watch this. So watch this, what happens.
Okay.
And Officer Gabby can kind of talk you through this too. So scoot this way, please.
Scoot this way?
Yeah, right there, perfect.
Okay.
So worst case, is it okay if I sit on this?
Yes, go ahead.
So like this, right? The main idea and the component of this is, this distance is the most dangerous piece of this.
Right.
Because the strikes, right? The first thing you do is kind of look that way and just close the distance like a hug.
Okay.
Right there. Now I kind of hit you as effectively. The second thing is, with this hand still staying like this, Kelly, your left hand is going to come from underneath and going to wrap over my arm over here.
Like this?
From the underneath, yep, perfect.
Like
all the way over, wrap all the way over like you're doing from the underneath, follow me. Underneath, this way, all the way around, and then wrap over like that. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
It's trapped now.
Okay.
Grab the back of my triceps. With your right
here?
Yeah, perfect. Now your foot on this side, this is the secret detail.
Oh.
You trap outside of my foot right here. Perfect.
Okay.
Right on the ground. Put your foot right on the ground. Follow me, like this. Yes.
Oh.
Now you have both sides of my right side trapped right now.
Uh-huh.
Now when you have your both feet here, push off the ground and roll to your, look.
Oh my gosh, I won.
And now you can get up and get away.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much. We so appreciate you guys being here. This was fantastic. Gabby, you crushed it. Girl power.
That's right.
The next Women Empowered Self-Defense Workshop is this Saturday, April 19th at 1:30 at Bellevue City Hall, and another one scheduled for April 27th. The classes are free to attend, and you'll find more details, of course, on their website.
You have to sign up to register, so make sure you do that because we won't have space otherwise.
Okay, there you go. You heard it.